Good morning, welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of our cover. Now, I Mod Podged. I put this stuff on, metallic wax. And now, and what also I used after I Mod Podged was clear crystal acrylic. That stops any stickiness. So, what we're up to is putting the text block together before we add it all to the book. So move some of the stuff out of the way. Now what I do, I added it to one side of my, what's it called? Oh gosh, my brain's gone dead. So I added it, this is our end pages. So what I've done is I've got my book and made sure it is straight before I stick down this end page. And I'm very, very careful because we don't want to, now I use fabric glue. The PVA glue works well, but you need to really, really make sure that your end page is right in the right position of your book. This is just for added strength and to keep your end page together in your journal. This is the only reason I do it. But it is supposed to be for added strength. I only used photocopy paper. And like I said, I make sure this is correctly straight. I might even stand up so I don't muck it up. So our end pages are on there now. Just make sure this one's correct. And what we do, I'm going to put that aside for now. Just make sure it's adhered. I'm going to put that aside for now. And what we're going to do is put this on. And this is my painted book cloth. Now, I always start in there. And I glue it well. Like I said, you can use PVA glue. I prefer fabric glue. You know, we're all different with our glues. I'm a bit too warm. So, let's get this going. So, I glue it well. I'll put a lot of glue because I want to maneuver. Because I want to be able to see those little things I've added to my journal. Or to my spine, I should say. Oh, golly gosh, so sorry. I don't think well when I'm on camera. Oh, I don't know about some of you guys, but oh gosh, I have untold misery. Now, in part 1, I showed you a little bit, basically, how I achieve this. Look, any questions, feel free to ask me. I have a lot of fun working this way. And I'm using a lot of glue because I want it to mould in. And if you've noticed, I actually scored mine. And now it's time to mould it in. And then I'll be able to put something along those ridges. I really needed a vein folder. And as you can see, I've got my ridges. I hope you can see. I'm just going to make sure you can see. You know what? I just keep forgetting that I need to make sure that I'm in focus. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I do forget. You can see I've got ridges. I actually shouldn't have cut the fabric till I was ready, but anyway, I got impatient. So you can see I've got the ridges there. And if you feel you need more of it, just work it in. That's what I do. I just work with my bone folder. Why I use fabric glue, it's just that much quicker for me to dry. With PVA might take ages. Now I will I hate it when my glue goes gluggy. No matter what I do, it still goes gluggy. I think it's the humidity we've been having here. I put acetone in it, like you're supposed to do when it goes gluggy, but it still plays up. But anyway, you'll do the job. And then, what I do, I work it in. And again, there's my spine there. And I just work it in. See, and by adding 2 sheets, I was able to give my spine a really good indentation. Like I said, fabric glue dries quicker. It does give you time to maneuver when you add more than normal. Like I said, this is just a simple cover, but vintagey. Each signature's got 4 pages. And about 13 signatures, I think. I'll have to calculate that and see how many pages it is. But anyway, I tend to work with 4s when I'm doing 12 signatures. And again, I will work that in, but I will also make sure and because I've scored it, it's made life easier. That's why I have to do my signatures first when I'm doing a journal like this, so that there you go. Now, normally it's done like this, but I like sticking my journal pages. I've got to make sure this is the right way. I want to make sure that white paper is stuck down too, because it's not. I didn't add enough glue to it. So let's fix it while we can. Because we want that really, really straight. I wonder if the other glue works better. So this is where I tend to so now what I'll do, I'll glue my centre. Let's see how good this one works. Now I glue all this together. And as you can see, I am not perfectly straight. I didn't trim anything off because I just wanted to use it all. I work maybe a little bit different to some artists. I work what's easy for me, you know, like I feel that it's my journal. There's multiple ways of doing this. I just like doing it this way. And it's getting the spine attached to my journal. And some of you be saying, oh, she's doing it wrong, she's doing it wrong. Or, do you know, there's no right or wrong way about this sort of journal when you're doing it. And I've got to make sure that that is even. And then before I stick it down completely, I've got to go in and just trim a little bit of that overhang I've got on there. More times than not, I normally use the knife, but we won't bother today. Like I said, make sure you don't cut your paper though, because then you'd be upset with yourself. And I'll just take that little bit away. That one seems to be fine, I think. It has got a bit of an overhang. Doesn't matter. I'll just make sure it's not a very deep overhang. Here you are. I didn't think to fix it before. And normally, look, that's what you got to check for, so that you're not mucking around with it after you've and really make sure it's so I've only got a bit of cheesecloth hanging out, not much. That one still looks like it's got a bit of overhang. So yeah, I really needed to use the knife with that, but anyway. This way you can learn from my mistakes to clean it up before you attach it. That's pretty good. So make sure it's glued down. Make sure you got it in the right area. Now, I only made sure I used coffee stain pages for this. So now the fun begins. Now we put it together. And we need lots of glue. Lots of glue. I use, like you can use PVA. Like I said, I'm a fabric glue person, so I tend to use fabric glue for my covers, and I find it works for me. Like I said, this is just a simple way of showing you how I do these particular covers. I can try and show you a fabric one, how I do those. But because I wanted to make a vintage one, I thought I'd do it this way instead, with paints and with a bit of tissue and using multiple things. It takes a bit longer to make the cover, because you can pull off a fabric cover quite easily and quickly. Semi-glue sluggish, but that's why I always attempt to make more glue than normal. I mean, put on more glue than normal, so it gives me time to lift if I need to lift my cover. So looks like it needs more there. No, it needs more there. Like I said, I might overdo it with my fabric glue, but I prefer to. And don't forget, before you make these covers up, use your gesso, and this has got to go that way. Now, I'm going to stand up to do this because I don't want to muck up my journal. And then I'm going to take it in. Now see how we've got end pages now? And this is where your bone folder's got to come into play. Oh, I forgot to do something. And this is really important. 1/4 of an inch of glue there. And I forgot that. Sorry, guys. You need that 1/4 of an inch. Otherwise, you'll find that your book, you'll be able to see through. And I'm going to have to because you want it to stay put. And I didn't do that. Just 1/4 of an inch. And then when you go to open it, it's not right yet. We'll just fix this one up, I think, before we do. Oh, just 1/4 of an inch. Because you don't want this peeping out of your journal. So this is what you do. Gosh, I don't know how I could forget that step. And let's glue this one. Now we're going to make sure. Yep. And we've completed a journal. Well, it's not embellished, but we've completed a journal. And this is the only way I know how to do a journal cover properly. There's other ways as well with fabric, and we can go through doing a fabric one. But I find for me to get my spine correctly, I need to do my block first, your signature block. Otherwise, it's not gonna work out for you. You know, there's many times I've had to add a signature or take a signature away. So if I do my signatures first, then I'll work on my spine. So I've got the right measurements, so my book's not all over the place. Like I said, I really use a lot of glue for this. Just don't forget to do that 1/4 of an inch. Oh, it's still not enough glue. Like I said, my glues are always sluggy. No matter how much acetone I apply, I get the same problem. But it's our humidity. Oh. I wonder if this one's better. Might be the one I was using before. No. So, more glue. And I'll have to add acetone again. Just make sure they're on the end. And now we're going to place this over. So I give myself room to manoeuvre it. And I open it up. And that hasn't stuck on. So what I would be doing, and this is really important, I would stack some books on this just till you've got your because as you notice, I don't glue in there. So I'd stack a stack of books on this till this is settled in. And there's my book. It's got luscious different coffee stained pages. Your signatures are real neat. So there's my journal. But like I said, I'm going to stack some papers on this because I want this to be really, really solid. You don't have to leave it on for long. But you do want a solid book. So there's our vintage journal. And I want to put some gold on here at some stage. See, that really needs something solid to sit on for a bit. And there's our journal. Our journal is complete. Like I said, please stick your books on it. and we might come back. I might come back and show you what I've done with all of these, because I like to add some gold. Here's my cheesecloth, which needs trimming down. I don't want to trim it down too much because I like cheesecloth. See, we do need books stuck on that. Look at our spine. How great is that? There you go. There's your vintage book. I hope I've helped you. I used A4 size pages, and I measured 1/8 of an inch away to make my cover from the signatures. And if you notice, that's perfect. It's a perfect cover. Absolutely perfect. But like I said, I'm going to go and stick some books on this and give it time to stick well together. And I'll even compact something against the spine to bring it in like that. And this is good to go to start journaling in. It's good to go to start embellishing. And I think it's quite cute. And don't forget, if you're using Mod Podge, because Mod Podge protects. I used the gloss one. I should have used the matte. I didn't realise that was the gloss. But it doesn't matter because it still looks good. Spray Clear Acrylic spray over it. This is all before you do it. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this small tutorial. I hope I've been able to help you in some way. I'm quite pleased with this journal. It's supposed to look grungy, and it is. It's supposed to look vintage, and it is. You know, I might find something to put there, like a word, whether it's journal or what, I don't know yet. I know I want to put a bit of gold there to complete it, but I think I'm quite happy with that. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope it's been helpful to you. I've enjoyed making it with you. It's been quite some time since I've done a journal this way. Like I said, it's easy peasy peasy. It really truly is. But you need to do your signatures first so you can get a really nice clean spine. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.